Okay, Dave, sorry about that. I had a little interruption here and had to take care of a couple things. So I'm back here. I'm going to pick up right here with the vegetables, just preparing to serve them. The toothpicks are already passed out. Okay, folks, so look up here. I've got the boiled vegetables right here, the boiled carrots. So do me a favor, promise me one thing when I pass this around. Please try the boiled carrots first. Okay, then go over to the vegetable medley. Do a little comparison for me and then just let me know what you think. And let me know the difference, okay? I have to tell you a little story. About 3 weeks ago, I was in Sacramento, and I had a couple that came up to my booth, and so I was doing the demo just like I am for all of you folks, and I did the comparative carrots and the vegetable medley as well. The husband got up and walked around, and he started looking at some of the tools, the jacuzzis over here, the refrigerators. He just took a walk around while his wife was sitting there, and she went through the whole demo, and she was enjoying herself, participating. And so we got around to serving the food, and I started passing it out, and as it was circulating, he comes back in and sits down next to his wife. And so his wife gives him some of the comparative, the boiled carrots, and the first thing out of his mouth after he took a couple bites, he says, "Do you have any salt or pepper or butter?" Can you believe that? I mean, that's what we do, right? When we boil our vegetables, we're cooking out all the nutrients, we need to flavor it up, you know? And especially if we're going to have our kids eating the vegetables, you know, they need it to taste good. Now, we got this crazy cycle going on here in America. See if you agree with me on this one, okay? How many of you spend about $100 a week on grocery? At least $100 a week, right? Absolutely. So do I, at least. Sometimes $150, and if you got a larger family, you're going to be spending quite a bit more. Well, what is that? That's $5,200, at least $5,200 a year. That's quite a bit of money, right? So mom comes home, dad too, you know, they want to make the food taste good, right? So then they go off and then they season their vegetables, you know, because they cooked all the nutrients out of it, and they're putting some water on here. This is called stroke in the box by many doctors here. And then we put on a little margarine thinking it's healthy because it's not really fatty butter. So I can't believe it's not butter. I can believe it's not butter, really. And this is one molecule away from being a plastic, right? Did you know that? Anybody know that? One molecule away from being a plastic. So what are we doing? Are we actually adding any nutrition to our food? Are we adding any value to our food? It might taste a little bit better, but is it good for us? Absolutely not. Folks, when it comes time to season your food, and as you know, I'm passing it around here, no seasoning because I want you to taste just how delicious it is with the nutrients in it. But if you do want to, make sure we use Mother Nature's own foods, okay? Regular butter, I've got Mrs. Dash, we've got all kinds of different butters out there that are healthy for you. And sea salt, if you're going to salt your food, use sea salt. Pink Himalayan's good too, celery salt's very good. Let's stick with the natural stuff here, because I'll tell you what, God makes this, God knows who makes this. So let's eat healthy. And you know, mom and dad, you know, they work hard, right? They work real hard and they spend a lot of money on the groceries. By the way, that $5,200 a year that we spend, how many of you agree that that's probably a big part of our budget, you know? And then we get home and we don't have all the nutrients there, so mom and dad go to the store and they end up buying these kind of vitamins here. We add this vitamin here to our diet, this vitamin here to our diet. And then we go out and we add vitamin B complex because we cooked all that vitamin out of our food, and then we add Airborne and Zicam because we're not feeling too good. We're spending a lot of money on that, right? Wouldn't you agree? And it could be pretty healthy. By the time we add everything up, we have a plate full of different vitamins, and what happens when we forget to take them? Well, we're not as healthy as we thought we were. So how many of you agree that if we eat healthy, that we're going to be healthier people, right? And you're going to find that right out in your garden. Wouldn't you agree that we can get all these nutrients and vitamins from Mother Nature? It's sitting right here in front of us. How many of you agree with me on that? And wouldn't you agree? How many of you like my salad, by the way? Right? It was a good salad. Wouldn't you agree, though? If we didn't have good tools to cook with, this wouldn't be here today. Now, the one thing that's really impressed me doing these shows, as many as I've done, is we've cooked all this in this 1 quart container. All this is going to feed you. I'm going to feed all of you today, just out of this 1 quart container. Is that something? And the nice thing is, it's all made in America, right here in America. Let's have a nice hand for Americans. And the beauty of this is that we have 9,000 employees that say thank you for buying American. We're actually employing 9,000 people here in America and their families, feeding them and supporting them because you are buying American. Let's have a hand for yourselves. Okay, I'm going to pass this around, and while I cut the carrots here, the corn, is it okay if I tell you a story? By the way, who wants brochures? Brochures? Let's see, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. I'll get the brochures out to you in just a second here. I'm going to pass this around here while you eat. And just keep passing it around until it's all gone, okay? And let me know what you think of the taste of the food here. I'm going to cut up the corn and pass that out as well, but if I can, I'd like to tell you a little story here. This guy that I know, he works for the company for Kitchen Craft. His name's Dave. He actually trained me, a nice guy. He actually had this one lady coming up to his booth. She's been with the company for 15 years. He had this one lady kept coming to his shows at one particular venue, and she would pick up a brochure and take it home. And this one time she came and she said, "Dave, I'm going to buy a set." And he says, "Well, what changed?" And she said, "Well, last time I went home to my husband and I said, we're not getting any younger. Kids are out of the house, grandkids are coming over, I'd like to live a lot longer for the grandkids, and as a matter of fact, when they're coming over here, I want to feed them healthy food." And he said, "Sure, dear, just go buy whatever set you want." Well, when I showed him the price list, he said, "Are you insane?" And Dave said to her, "Well, really, what changed then? What changed his mind?" She said, "Well, my husband, he ended up going in for a checkup. They admitted him into the hospital and they did an angiogram and found out that they needed to install 3 stents in his arteries. He had an angioplasty. And so when we were talking about it, he said, "Dear, just go buy the biggest set out there. I don't care. Just go off and buy the biggest set. We'll get healthier." So how many of you agree that if we start using the right tools, we're going to eat healthier, we're going to stay healthier? It's going to cost us a lot less too, right? Because we're going to stay out of the hospital, the medical expenses won't be that high. So tell me, how do you like the vegetables? You don't taste the broccoli and the carrots, you don't taste the carrots and the corn, right? It tastes pretty good? Okay, well, listen, while you guys are eating that, I'm going to do this drawing here. Okay, so all of you who decided to sit in the front row, you double your chances there to win this prize. This is a Ginsu knife. How many of you have seen these Ginsu knives? It was one of the first infomercials that came on television. They're actually really good knives. I use this quite a bit. So we're going to have a drawing here. This is a $30 item, and it's a pretty good quality. And I'm going to call on one of you to draw here. And so pull all your tickets out of your pockets, please, okay? And then we'll call your number. We'll call a number. No tickets? I'm just kidding. I didn't hand out any tickets for you, but we're going to go straight around the row, okay? And we're going to start off with you, Kathy. You're going to be number 1. Martha, you're going to be number 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Incidentally, this here is one of our Kitchen Craft vintage tools. This came out of 1967. It was produced in 1967. And do a little comparison look here. This is brand new, okay? It's never been used. Look at the difference. Look how well this has stood up to the test of time, right? And this actually, in a set, back in 1967, cost about $800 a set. That was pretty expensive back then. But look what the value is today. You wouldn't have to go off and buy any new tools because this held up and withstood the test of time. Okay, we've got my numbers in there. So Kathy, why don't you go ahead and draw out of there. Okay, there we go. Okay, number 5. Great. Number 5, congratulations. What's your name? Tom. Tom, here you go. Let's all have a hand for Tom. Okay. Great. And let's also have a hand for Martha, our cook. How did Martha do on the food? Thank you, Martha. I've got a little gift for you after the show as well. Okay, so let's go on with the brochures here. Now, that pretty much concludes the demo part of our show. How many of you learned anything here? I know I learned a lot. I learned how hungry you guys are and how smart you folks are, right? We learned a lot about savings. We learned a lot about the speed of cooking with this food. How many of you like the healthier part of our show? Yeah, you like the savings, right? You like that money in your wallet. I understand. How about the warranty, the forever warranty? You like that? You know, when I was working at this one computer company years ago, you know, they were really known for having just some of the best products around. And I was told by one of my managers, you know, you can really tell the quality of the product by the length of the warranty. And this company that I worked for had just a fantastic warranty. But I never realized that the best warranty you can ever get is a forever warranty, where this is always going to be guaranteed. And you're going to pass it down to your children, to your grandchildren, great-grandchildren. This is going to outlast all of us here, you know. What kind of a warranty is better than a forever warranty? None, right? How would you agree with that? Absolutely. How many of you enjoyed the fact that it's American made? That's right. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and hand out some brochures. Let me do this here. Okay, how many brochures do we have? Let's see. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I'm going to hand these out. Okay. Okay. One thing that I want to cover here, I know that some of you have come here to watch the demo, some of you have come here to eat, some of you have come here because you're curious, some of you came here to relax, some of you don't know why you came here, and that's okay too. I really enjoyed your company. I want to thank all of you for coming. Now, the brochures are yours to take, okay? You can keep those, you can pull them right off the clipboard. Everybody, eyes up here, okay? Eyes up here. I know that the brochure is prettier than me, but this is important stuff. So this brochure here, we have a lot of blank spaces here, okay? And that's because coming to this show, I can offer this stuff at wholesale up to 50% off, and I'll go into that in a few minutes. This brochure is yours to keep. You can take it if you have to leave. Just take the brochure and leave the clipboard and this form and the pens behind. This form here is called an opportunity form, and I'll cover that with you in a few seconds, okay? But if you have to go, take the brochure, leave the clipboard and the pen behind. These are 007 pens. They explode when you walk 10 feet away from here. So make sure you keep them here. And for those of you who are seated all around here, why don't you come move up to the front so that we can go over there. I'm going to explain a little bit about the cookware, okay?